morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us again on Pop Culture Clobberin Time.
Did you have to
I
read
got
that?
it. No, I got it right. Right off the top of my tongue, tip of my tongue. And
I like that.
it's all off the rails from here on.
That's great.
Coach Vic, Al Shell with me. We're here to talk about DC Comics, what they're getting wrong, and what we can help get them back on track.
Oh my head! Oh no! Oh god! Anyways, I love the intro. I love it where intro is like it's just like oh we're on. We freeze, and no one says anything. It's the best intro there is.
I said, "Here we go," and then I hit the button.
Here we go, yo.
Yeah, and then everybody doesn't say anything because we're waiting for you to talk, and then you're just like, "Bye, you're bad."
It doesn't help me that Coach Vic's telling me his life story while the credits are rolling.
Hey, sorry you have a buddy. Sorry you have
I'm
friends.
bad. I can go be somebody else's black friend.
Yeah.
Good morning, Rob Boswell.
You got one black friend, Jamie,
Dude,
and
Terry.
you're throwing him away.
Don't forget Terry. What he talks
Let
to.
me tell you, I'm the worst friend to have. I'm the guy that you call to like help you out with something. I'm like, I'm busy that day. I gotta wash my hair. Unruly Simeon, thanks for joining us. And
Let's
we got
go.
Discovery Bay here this morning. Rob Boswell.
I'm here.
I hope to see him in a couple weeks. In 2 weeks from today is Wonderfest. The Wonder.
I don't think any of these people exist, actually. I don't think they exist.
You what?
I don't think any of these people really exist. I
They're all
just think
bots.
they're
the Russian bots invading our.
Welcome to the Bot Culture Show.
There you go. We should just do a show addressing the bots of the audience. He will be there. Excellent.
Sweet.
So I hope to do not one but 2 live streams if I can get the technology appropriated to be able to do that.
Sounds like you need an assistant to go with you. Oh, I hurt my wrist.
I might need somebody to monitor the chat.
Well, yeah.
And not take a nap when it's time to do it.
I'm sorry if you did the chat at the right time. And then if it wasn't such a mess, I mean, you try to moderate.
Passive aggressiveness is the best.
I told you I'm the worst friend. Worst type of friend.
Sound like it.
What are you gonna do?
Sound like it.
What are you gonna do normal shit?
I'm gonna get that question.
In my horn.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pop Culture and Clobberin Time. We're here to talk to you about everything pop culture and not our personal hang-ups. Even Christmas. So anyways, the last week, I was, I fell down and skinned my knees. And it hurt. And then today, well, anyways. Thank you, Rob. You gotta love the kiss. It's a fake world. It's a fake tour shirt that I got at Target. But,
It's not legitimate with the dates on the back. From like
no, it's fake because it says World Tour 77. And it's probably from like someone got production art and was like, "Let's make a kiss shirt." Hey guys,
I have had access to those style guides before.
Yeah,
Not saying. I'm just saying. Before we roll into our main topic, I want to just take a moment. We didn't mention it last show, but I had my memorial wall of Neil Adams comics up there. Got all my keys and just some of the best covers that I like that I've got in my collection. I'm sure you can see them all perfectly clearly.
Oh, that's why I don't look right.
Didn't get into it yet.
But since the last show, we've lost another stalwart of the comic book creator pantheon, George Perez. So just figured I'd run through real quick just some books I got of George Perez.
We'll be here all day.
We might. Let's see if I can get there. There we go.
Ooh.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, #1, signed by George Perez, right on there. I've met him a few times. Got the issue with the death of Supergirl there. Followed that up with the death of the Flash. George Perez is one of the guys that I'm going back and collecting more of his Bronze Age work that I didn't have. Stuff like the JLA runs and
now you buy it.
The Avengers runs. Yeah, I mean, it's one of he's one of those creators I've chipped away at for a long time. Good morning, Captain Comics.
Ahoy.
Of course, the first appearance of Deathstroke the Terminator.
Is that different from regular Deathstroke?
Well, there's only one Deathstroke.
Okay. Who's the guy?
Why you say Deathlock?
I corrected myself and said Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
So this was the first issue of the New Teen Titans I picked up off the stands. This isn't
really
that first issue. This is a replacement copy, but that issue 10 was where I started, and I've kept going way too long, like into the issue hundreds or so.
Handed.
Unruly Simeon says Wonder Woman is his favorite Perez. That was excellent stuff. Of course, the Kid Flash and Robin Call It Quits issue. And when Robin comes back, Dick Grayson comes back as Nightwing a couple issues later.
Let's go Nightwing.
Okay, so Coach Vic's a big fan of the TV show, and they'll never be able to address this correctly in the TV show.
Address what?
The Judas contract. Don't pay too close attention. Just pick up the comics and read it someday.
Or if you just watch the cartoon on HBO Max.
You probably already have, haven't you?
So close so many times. But since you say Judas contract is a good one, I'm going to wait and read the book.
You should be able to pick that one up in trade, I would think. Rob Boswell says, I didn't realize I had 73 Perez covers. I've got at least that many, and not all of them in the stack.
I have 3.
First appearance of the Vigilante, made famous in the recent Peacemaker TV show.
Completely different Vigilante.
These 4 books were like staple books for me. It's staple, not staples, but when they came out, I devoured them over and over and over again. And I need to find some fresher, cleaner copies of these. So these show the origin stories of these 4 characters.
Oh, nice.
I gave you that one. You should read it someday.
I said it has 3 Perez books.
So this might have been my favorite Perez work, his run on the Baxter series of the New Teen Titans.
That's interesting. So the Changeling is not Beast Boy, right?
His original name was Beast Boy in the Silver Age, and they changed it to Changeling because
they realized it was stupid.
Right.
And then they went, let's do it the Changeling, and then they thought that was stupid and went back to Beast Boy.
Okay.
And then that rounds out that first storyline from the Baxter series. This one might be, I don't know, I like both these covers. Maybe my favorite cover of the run.
Ooh.
I always liked it when he did these kind of painterly covers. You can still tell it's George Perez, but he also did the coloring.
That looks like a Soul Man Rocky Johnson.
You don't have any Crimson Rage or?
No, I didn't get Crimson Rage.
Okay, sorry.
Well, Google it if you want to know more about the Crimson Rage. Beast Boy's first appearance is underrated and not too expensive. Indeed, that's one of the books I would like to pick up.
Would that be in a Doom Patrol or what would that be in?
Yeah, I believe it's Doom Patrol 99.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That'll be a good boy. Anyways, yeah.
Well, because on Titans, Beast Boy is part of a Doom Patrol crossover. Before he joins Titans, he's with the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like
Doom Patrol. He started off in that, and then okay.
But I never watched Doom Patrol.
10 minutes.
All right.
Hey, we're just getting warmed up. All right. So our main topic for the day is we believe DC
Excitement.
comics, both comics and movies, are broken. But we really didn't say is DC TV broken. And of course, we got a connoisseur of the DC TV stuff.
I just can't quit the CW.
Oh God. Oh God. You bring like garbage cakes in here. Hey,
My
look,
only issue
man,
with
I found this mud gucked up thing. It's on TV.
Hey, look, how long has the Arrowverse been around by now?
Yeah.
Maybe a
It is
decade.
I was gonna say, it's probably
it is the
10 years,
ugliest girlfriend ever for DC. So they keep doing it. That's what that is. It's like, well, I can't get anybody better, so I'm gonna do what I do. Hey, look, hey, come here.
They're putting their characters out there for the world to consume.
Oh
but
yeah, that's great.
Sure, they might be an unfamiliar audience, which is what he is.
It might be a first appearance that you can't wash off.
Here's my question though.
Isn't Digger Green Lantern?
Is there a Taylor Hicks or something like that?
A Taylor Hicks.
Taylor something or other.
Are we gonna do this? Or are we gonna talk about garbage?
Gotham Knights. Bruce Wayne's adopted son is who's leading.
And it's not one of the existing.
No, it's not a Robin.
Taylor Hicks is an actor.
Huh?
Hold on, let me get my microphone. Maybe you guys can't hear me. I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
We're just talking over you.
Yeah.
So, people in the chat, members of the chat, tell us what's your opinion of DC on TV, whether it's on CW or in streaming. I mean, Peacemaker was great, but that was on streaming, and that's kind of
It's also a joke.
That's the kind of the new fresh thing.
Streaming is good. I mean, I like Titans a lot.
As a guy that grew up on Titans, I enjoy the Titans TV show too. But I get the criticism that it's way darker than it needs to be.
I just need to know, why is Dr. Fate's helmet? Is it Dr. Fate? Mr. Fate?
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate's helmet sitting there in their house.
In whose house?
It's in the place in San Francisco that they live in, the condo or whatever.
Oh, I haven't noticed.
Answer for 100. It's called an Easter egg.
Yeah, it's been that way for 3 seasons.
It is an Easter egg, Johnny.
3 seasons. Nothing.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you're getting with this show. Nothing.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
So Disco's opinion is Peacemaker was fun and the rest is garbage. Rob Boswell says, "What is this DC you speak of?"
It has become the safe haven for Coach Vic, and he likes his little morsels of junk that he like. Wow, that's good, yummy.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. The DC on TV might be like the Burger King of hamburgers.
Whoa.
I don't want to insult and say it's the McDonald's.
Whoa.
Big Mac is the Cadillac of burgers.
Don't tell me I can go between the buns and get a much better burger.
Of the fast food burgers.
That's what I'm saying. It's fast food.
Oh my
God! It's
God.
not like your sit down dinner.
Between the buns. Sounds like a strip club.
Listen, guys. Since you obviously don't have ideas, Jamie, to change DC, do you? This is why you're stretching this out.
No, I mean,
actually, I want to hear. Let's hear right now. Let's start off. We each. Okay, this is the premise.
Okay.
When you're talking, this is what we're gonna do. Each of us are gonna talk about how we would save DC. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
this is what I'm proposing is you get hired to be the Kevin Feige of DC Comics.
Okay.
That stretches from the comics, from the movies, everything, toy lines, everything. You have complete control over DC's the properties, everything.
Okay.
No holds barred. Each one of us hits it. Who's going first? I think Coach Vic's is going to be the best. So We should start off with good and end with good, and then we'll put you in the middle, Jamie.
It'll be a best sandwich.
Yeah. So we'll start off with Coach Vic. The craziest one will probably be Coach Vic's. So I want to start off with Coach Vic. Coach Vic, you are the Kevin Feige of DC. Overall, you're the DC overlord. They will give you all the money in the world to make DC bigger than Marvel. Shoot. Go ahead.
As somebody mentioned hiring Danny Cates. Danny Cates, no. If I'm going to hire somebody to run my comic division, it's going to be Scotty Young, period. But that's another thing. But let's start with making money. So I feel like the animation department is great. I love all the movies. I saw Batman Year One. After I read Batman Year One, the exact same thing. Saw Long Halloween. It was good. I think they do a good job with the cartoons. So what I propose is take the Milestone universe, animate it fully out, sell it to Netflix, sell it to Prime, sell it to somebody else. As long as we keep making it in-house, we retain the rights to it, but we sell it to them, make money, let them worry about advertising, make them sign a 5-year commitment to it. Build the universes out that way. The movies, hey, we'll center around the new Batman stuff and Shazam. Okay. Two totally different. They ain't got a crossover, but just build them up. Build out the Batman got 1,800 relatives. Build them out. Build out the Batman family. Build up the Shazam family, Black Adam, all the people. Bring Superman over there with Shazam. Do your one-off movies there, but build these universes up. And there you go. Now, as far as the TV is concerned, keep working with Young Justice. I like Young Justice. I don't know what Gotham Knights is going to be, because that's basically the only thing that's left. But somehow they got to figure out how to build up the JLA for the TV series like they were doing a long time ago with Smallville. I mean, Smallville had Aquaman, Cyborg, Arrow, well, Superman, obviously.
Did they ever have him in costume, though? On Smallville.
Don't break his train of thought. He's telling how he's fixing DC, and you're going to railroad him.
Like Moon Knight. Okay, go ahead. Had to get my digs in.
But no, I just think if they just figure out some way to just develop one thing.
You're Kevin Feige in it. You are fixing it. Don't ask how you're going to fix one thing. I want to hear you fix this.
And then eventually lead to a Shazam versus Batman universe in about year 8. And there you go.
Then they become friends and they fight
Batman, which is Black Adam. And kill him.
This is movie and comic book, or just movie?
Oh, just movies. The comics.
Just movie. You don't care about the comics.
Here's what I'm going to say about the comics. Look, if you want to introduce new characters, black, white, yellow, orange, whatever, do it with a slow backdoor. Take 6, 7 issues, 8 issues. Just have them as a regular character. Then slowly build them up into like a you got 87 Batmans. Build them up into one of the Batmans, and then let them develop into a character, and then pull them off. I mean, they just said, "Oh, Punchline's here," but there's no development of Punchline. She became a thing, and then they tried to develop her after the fact, and she gone. Well, I guess not really. What happened was they were like, you know what? I like Harley Quinn better. I need more Harley Quinn. And so Punchline pretty much kicked to the curb. I'm just saying.
I guess they're just saying.
I'm just saying. Build up a character. Introduce a couple of black characters in there. Slow. You ain't just got to come out and say, hey, you know what? Robin's black now. Batman's black now. Wonder Woman should have always been black, but we're not going to let that go. I mean, isn't she an Amazon? How many light-skinned Amazons do you know?
I don't know any Amazons.
Or from South America, rather. But I don't know. That's just a few ideas I have. But I really think they should lean into the animation a little more and figure out some way to distribute it, because I think it's good.
You figure it out. You're Kevin Feige. You're supposed to be figuring it out. This is what this is about.
Yeah, this is what
you're in charge, man. This is you. Well, you guys need to figure that out, because I'm just here.
Oh, see, that's the thing. You need ideas, man. Okay. Then you need people that can put the stuff into play.
I get it. I get
Like I
that.
remember at my previous church, which is the largest church in the country while I was there, pastor, ideas guy said, you know what? I want to reach 10,000 people this Christmas. Y'all figure it out. Reach 20,000 people. Okay. You need an ideas guy. And then you need people that can execute. That's why I want Scotty Young as my right hand man.
All right. That it? That's all your
No,
ideas. That's all. That's what you're gonna do. Is you're gonna go in there and go, "Hey, you guys do this. I'm just gonna not give
no.
any."
I told you make the pillars of the movies, the pillars of the Batman universe and the Shazam universe. Sure, it's the same one, but just build them up because you already got Black Adam coming up to take over.
And
Make
you're
Black
not
Adam.
meaning Shazam. You're meaning Black Adam, right?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay.
But Shazam's gonna
Got the
be in
rock.
there.
Okay.
The Dark
All right.
One.
So you want to go now, Jamie? You got your big ideas?
All my
And don't
big
sleep
ideas.
on the
Okay.
milestone aspect.
Yeah. Okay. Can't.
Let me ask this question first. To what end are we trying? What are we trying to accomplish here?
Oh, you get an in game?
Do we want more sales? Do we want a bigger audience? What is the goal?
That's up to you.
Okay.
You're Kevin Feige. You pick this what you want it to be. If you want it to be on a pumpkin cart outside, Walgreens, that's up to you. I don't care.
Okay. So I mean, it's a huge job, a huge question, and I think I get the point you're trying to make, Al. With
Fantasy booking, pal.
what you're in charge of the whole big picture. What would you do? Okay, so on publishing side, I it it all starts with, even though I would love to have my hands in the creative. It all starts with putting the right minds at the top, guiding the ship.
Like
So,
Scotty Young.
well, he picked Scotty Young. I would pick somebody like Alex Ross. I'd consider somebody like Jeff Johns,
Does Alex
who
Ross
who
actually write?
he has ideas. He doesn't necessarily write,
Yeah,
but
he's a creative guy.
Oh, okay.
and he's got a pure vision for what the classic characters are supposed to be. Now, I'm not saying we only do just the classic characters. There's ways to, like Coach Vic said, to introduce new characters. I mean, if I was going to do a 5G thing like they did, well, like they said they were going to do, then they said we're not going to do it, and now they're doing it. They're doing it in the lamest way possible. For a storyline like that, you just take the big characters off the table, and you let other characters come in and step into the void and let them develop into their own thing. And then you find out that Darkseid's got the Justice League captured on Apocalypse somewhere, and he's using them like batteries to drain them of their power to do whatever big bad thing he's got going on.
He can do that?
It's comics; he can do anything he wants.
Okay.
The Darkseid's an example. It doesn't have to be him. It could be any other big bad. The thing is, the stakes have to be huge, and for events to get started, you have to have big stakes. So, and the stakes aren't, okay, what are we not dealing with? It's what can we lose? In Crisis on Infinite Earths, it was everything blanks out of existence. We need to have something to say. Superman, the core of Superman is what is Superman's one weakness? What's his one weakness?
Women, kryptonite.
You're close, but it wasn't kryptonite. It's Lois Lane.
Oh, women.
Superman will eat kryptonite to save Lois Lane.
Oh.
So the stakes have to be huge. On the movie side, it's kind of the same thing. You need to have, in this case, I think Jeff Johns is more appropriate because he's got more background in the movies. Getting back to publishing, besides the storylines, it's a matter of reaching a wider audience, right? And DC tried this with their 100-page giants in Walmart. Of course, they got tons of pushback from comic shops in the direct market, but so DC said, okay, we'll let you sell them too, and so everybody's happy. And then COVID came along, and that program just stopped. Now, what they were doing is even though they were only putting like 8 or 16 pages of new material in it just to draw out guys that want a man book ever published. But it was a $5 price point for 100 pages of content, and some of the content was Hush and great Swamp Thing stories, and it was good quality stuff that they could expose to a new audience that otherwise wouldn't go into a comic shop. In my opinion, the fact that DC couldn't make that work or just stop trying is it's a big indictment on kind of where they're at. Um, let's see, Legion of Comics. Legion of Comics is a big DC fan, so the Swamp Thing DC original show was great. Unfortunate series of events ruined it. It happens all too often with DC.
Yeah, something always comes up with DC.
I mean, it's on the movie and TV side, especially the streaming side. Budget is always, it's not necessarily a concern, but there's a limitation there. They can't do everything on the planet that they want. But I think Swamp Thing is one property the DC has that they don't do enough with. Yeah, the current Swamp Thing with Ram V is phenomenal. That's what I've heard. I've not read it.
Well, and the thing I've always said just from watching Young Justice is that DC has a stable of heroes that are like great. I mean, just a huge staple. I'm like, you hardly hear from any of these people outside of like a show like that or animation. I mean, they're not making books for all these people. They're busy making Batman books. But they got a better stable than Marvel by far. Sorry.
It's okay. So
I was talking to Rob.
You mean Legion?
Legion. Oh, okay.
As far as the movie side, I mean, DC really shot themselves in the foot by trying to say, well, we're going to do Justice League first and then do spin-off series of individual characters after that. We all saw that being a big train wreck, and that's what it turned into. Corbin All says, in my comic shop, customers discuss the Easter eggs at the end credits of Marvel films more than the stories, in contrast to how they talk about DC films where they get into the films themselves. Interesting. Current Swamp Thing Green held by Jeff Lemire was amazing, and well, excited for the next issue. Cool, man. So yeah, on the movie side, it's complicated because you have star power, which a guy like Dwayne Johnson has, and he's kind of locked in on a role like Black Adam, when it'd be much better for everybody if he would lock in on Superman. I don't think anyone would have a problem with The Rock being Superman.
Clark Kent would be crazy, but Superman, yeah.
I mean, they got a problem with Michael B. Jordan being Superman.
Yeah, but Michael B. Jordan is not The Rock.
Okay. Tell that to my mom. No.
I mean, the Rock is like the next to Mark Wahlberg is like the biggest box office draw, right?
According to the payment last year, the biggest box office draw last year was Willard Carroll Smith.
Really?
Yeah. Rock was number 2.
Well, what was Will Smith in? It was so big.
I don't remember.
The movie about the tennis girls?
Yeah. I don't know about their dad.
All right, wow. So I mean, it's hard to say what to do in the movies to make it to. I mean, if you did, like, if you could go back in time, you could do it right. But how to like reorient what they've got to make it work now it's out of my pay grade.
Well, you're the Feige, man. What are you talking about? My pay grade. Anyways, go ahead.
You obviously have the answer to this problem. I want to hear what your master grand plan.
I don't got any ideas. I just wanted to hear yours so I can bluff.
Well, wait a second. I remember the first thing I would do if I was running DC.
DC which? Comics or both? Or movies or both?
Yeah.
All of it.
Okay.
I'd fire Ezra Miller. There you go.
That's so minute. Anyways.
Yeah, well, trust me. It's been getting on my nerves for a while here.
Yeah. Well, they probably will because they're letting Amber Heard go and all that junk.
Yeah.
And she's in a movie that's been seen. And Ezra Miller, he was in Justice League, so they don't really care about that. But
Except for
anyway,
they finished
so
the
should
Flash
I
3 years
go?
ago.
I should go. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Alan Shell has just been hired as the Kevin Feige of the DC everything. The brand, the name, the comics, the movies, everything. All right? I can do anything.
Mhm.
I'm going to collapse. I'm going to take back everything. I'm going to take my toys back. All right? I'm going to take. Hey, sorry, Dwayne. I don't. The Black Adam. That doesn't even matter. Okay, this is the thing. This is one thing. One thing I want to get out first. All the stuff that's happening now doesn't matter. I'm just going to talk about what the bigger picture and not the stories and stuff like that, because that's semantics. Because you're going to, first off, movies, stop trying to connect them. I'm not going to connect those. All right. I'm going to put out brands. I'm going to put out the Superman brand, the Batman brand, the Wonder Woman brand. Okay. Superman needs to be saved huge because he is the man. I don't care. Okay. So Batman is the one you go to see him beat up people. Superman's the one you go to see, hey, this dude's doing crazy stuff and it's awesome. All right. It's like watching a Jackass movie with heart. You know what I mean? You want to see some crazy stuff. You don't want to see him crying, breaking people's necks. So we're going to make Superman the big blue Boy Scout that he's supposed to be. All right. We're going to make Batman the guy that you want to be, and you think you're going to go out on the street, but you'd actually get your ass kicked in. There you go. And then the Wonder Woman, she's woman power. Okay. That's what you got. This is like, hey, I can do what both of them do, but I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? There you go. You got something, Vic? You're gonna bust out now.
I just said it's girl power.
They might want to have it be woman power these days. So.
Hey, woman power. Sorry, I made that wrong. Anyways, all right. So the movies, you got that. Everything else, I'm talking. You got the Detective Comics, dark stuff, and anything that you bring in there, like the Question, all that. That's the type of the branding you're gonna. I'm gonna do this in comic books too. The comic books will be. I'm separating the comic book. They'll be in the same universe, but crossovers are done. Okay. You're not gonna see the Flash running around in Batman. You're not gonna see Superman running around in Green Lantern. Okay. You can hear about them, but you're not gonna. I'm not buying a book. I'm not buying a Green Lantern book to see Superman. Okay. Creators and all that stuff, I'll pick the right ones. But here's another thing. There's going to be, for comic books, I'm going to make, okay, you're going to have comics for DC, for the comic book shops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to go back in time. You got the shelf comics, right? You got the drugstore comics. We'll just call it that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, the magazine racks, the kiosk or whatever that is, where the candy is when you're checkout.
The
checkout aisle.
Yeah, the point
checkout aisle. They have magazines there and they got candies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy me, I don't care how much, I'm going to buy me a place for comic books.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's going to be up there. So when the buying customer are leaving, he's like, what's this comic book? I'm not going to shove it in the back. All right.
Yeah.
Also,
that's where you put my 100-page giants.
What?
That's where you put my 100-page giants.
Yeah. Is that what they did?
That's what they should have done.
You're right. Okay. So, mandate. Comics are going to be less racy. Comics aren't going to have boobs all over the covers. It's going to be for everybody. It's not going to be a niche thing. I don't care about some guy living in his basement that gets his rocks off to Harley Quinn anymore. All right. It's going to be, we're going back to the old style covers of like, the ones that aren't pinups. We're not doing pinup covers. We're doing classic styles. I might even bring back some form of symbol that says this is good for everybody. You know, what they call that thing that they had on the old comic books?
The Comic Code Authority.
Comic Code Authority. I might even bring something like that back, just to go, hey, this might have some cartoon violence in it, but you don't have to worry about people getting their heads split up. Okay. Rob says I need boobs. Well, guess what, Rob? This is what we're doing. The comic books that everybody's going to eat is going to be at the comic book, or it's going to be at Walmart, Target, and all those. The comic books that only you can eat are going to be at your local comic book shop when we bring back prestige formats and special comics. I don't need in my comic, in my like everyday comic, Batman killing the Joker. But I can do special comics for the comic book direct market that has that happen. Okay. These are the type of books that not only go to comic book shops, but the big book chains. No, I'm still going, pal. I'm still going. All questions at the end. Listen, I'm talking, special books that are like kind of graphic novels, like they used to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we bring back wholesome comic books, and by wholesome, I'm talking, stuff that we used to read that was in the 80s before it got like, look at these babies, Sorry, guys, I don't need to know sex of superheroes in my regular comic books. That's gone.
Amen.
You can be like, hey, Catwoman, I kind of like you, but I don't care what you do. I don't need to see Catwoman grinding Batman on a cover. Inside the book, whatever. Mandated. Bye-bye. You don't need that, man. You don't. It's gratuitous. Okay? I don't need to know people's sexual preferences at all. All right? You want to make Tim Drake bisexual, do it in one of the books from the comic book shop. I don't care. But on the stands, newsstand comic books they're gonna be approved by me and everything. You're still gonna get the action. You're still gonna get the excitement. You're still gonna get characters, new characters being shown to the world, and that's how you do that. Now, I'd even go so far. You got the comic books, but then you have a comic magazine that's like, you bring that Detective Comics becomes a magazine. Action
like
Comics,
Tiger Beat for comics.
DC. Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're not gonna be. Yeah, no. What comic books used to be? Sorry, they're supposed to be magazines. Anyways, these are the ones that are like you said, the 100-page giant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these are gonna be exclusives. Then we're gonna turn it around. I'm bringing in manga. Okay, we're gonna start doing real DC manga, dedicated. We're gonna bring in manga creators to take the characters, and we're gonna put them next to those in Barnes and Nobles. All right, we're gonna have our own DC manga, and I know they've messed with it here and there, but I'm talking about the little books that do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Rob, I understand you like boobies. I get it. But heavy metal wouldn't have been special if everybody was doing heavy metal. If every book had boobies, like every book was Playboy, then why was Playboy special? Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, you didn't care. You wouldn't have cared about heavy metal if all that stuff was. You gotta be gone so I can miss you. You know what I mean? If I'm not looking, I'm like, oh man, look, Betty and Veronica, they're kind of hot. I wish I'd seen their boobies. There's a book over there that has them. Now they're showing all of them. All right. This is what I'm getting at. Join me on this. Okay. So that's the comic book stuff. But listen, branding. These characters are more popular than the comic books. All right. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You can go anywhere. Flash. You see the Flash thing. Thanks. Titan had boobies, but they were covered up, bro. They weren't like sexy. They weren't. It was like, dude. It was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre process. That's what I'm saying. You draw it to where people can imagine it, but you ain't gonna like, look at this, Twaddlers. You know what I mean? You don't do that, okay? So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre never showed violence. It had him hitting in the head, but it didn't show him cutting people up with the chainsaw, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you got to go to. Anyways. So I got the checkout line. I got some manga. I'm going with manga. Now here, the branding thing. How come they never made a Super Smash Brothers or any type of? I would start making my own video games with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I would make a Super Smash Brothers, the Capcom versus Super or Marvel style game, but just DC guys. And that would also link into toys, okay? I know Todd McFarlane's got the rights to do, and I'd be like, well, Todd, you got this, but I need you to do this. But again, like I said, I'm Feige. Fuck Todd McFarlane. Excuse my language. Forget him. It's all Brad. This is just me doing this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the toy line, I would make toy lines have come with comic books again, like special for that toy. All right, that's all you get, and it's a series, and then that series ends, and then you come out with like the part 2, and then you have the different. So each toy would come with its own comic book. It was like if it was Crisis toys, that would come with one of each different character in that line would come with the Crisis book, a different issue of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then you got that, and then you got to do what happened to the old. I've always said this: commercials for comic books.
Well, those are rare.
I get it, but let's do it again. Let's do it now. Like you're Warner Brothers, bro. Like you own half a TV.
Yeah, I mean they should do advertisements for the movies too.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. I think Deadpool. Yeah. Hey, I don't trust a man who doesn't cuss. Anyways, so also when you're doing movies separate of the comic books, I think the movies, TVs should always put the best foot out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perception is reality. So if I'm going to do a TV show, it's not going to change. It's not going to put out an image of a superhero or character that I don't want out there. So you're not going to have Arrow being Arrow, and then you got Batman showing up, but his name is Dirk Diggler or something. I'm not going to do that. If each character has to be its own brand. If you want to put out like a Blue Beetle, that he's perfect. The Jaime Reyes or whatever, he'd be perfect for like a manga or an anime. You do that. Anyways, I don't want to get into separate, but each character has to be its own brand. I'm not going to sacrifice the character that could make money by putting him on an Arrow TV show. Hold on a minute. We got to restart my thing. You know what I'm saying? Each one has to be its own thing. And so then when you do finally do a universe come together, it's worth something. It's the old, if everybody's special, no one is. I'm making everything special.
So on your comic book side, you want to separate each character into their own brand. I get that. What do you do with JLA then?
And make it special. Well, listen.
Do you not
listen?
Do it
that's the time that listen. I'm not saying that Superman exists separate from Batman. He'll be like, oh, that guy in Metropolis is a bum,
Mm-hmm.
You just be like, I don't want. There's got to be a reason that Superman isn't just coming in and stopping all of Batman's guys. It's bad mojo to be like every week is a crossover. So see, that's the minutia that we're getting into there. It's like, well, let me tell you who I'm going to have writing each book. No, that's not. I'm talking the overall picture, stuff that I would do to help this product.
Right.
It should do its own work. I mean, the branding's already out there, but you need to attach to that logo. You need to show them who it's on.
Gotcha.
And what it's about. You just can't have like, hey, I got this little Superman logo. My sister got it for me. I don't know what Superman is. And then when you put it out there, it's always about your perception. It's about your image. You don't let an image of any character. I mean, I'd go in and it's like, well, you know what? The way that how dark Batman was. That's another thing. That movie was good for us comic book nuts. But kids shouldn't be watching that movie. Now there has to be a middle ground between I just murdered everybody in this movie to holy metal Batman. You know, there's got to be something right there. We can have a Batman that is still vengeance, but he's not murder. He's not like I'm crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I want
emo
to go back.
Batman. That was dead up emo. I cut myself at night Batman.
I
But
want
I'm
to go
not
back
getting. I don't care about that. That's just one
and
thing.
show. I want to go back and show a couple of comments we missed, and then I'll let you continue.
All
Uh,
boobs are sexy.
uh, Way back before that, we had Legion of Comics, the Batman and First Wonder Woman, and Man of Steel. Those films are great examples of answer self-contained films that take themselves serious that you can build on if you choose to. I think all of those were very entertaining movies. I get the criticism of the Superman movie. Hire your creative team, then get out of the way so they can do their jobs. Well, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, Zack Snyder did good and bad, I think, in his work. Um, I think they could have resolved the Superman movie in a way that didn't upset so many people and still made it as good and as big as it was. I think the movie studios see these comic properties as billion-dollar juggernauts. That's true. Where making your money back isn't considered a success, but a failure, unless it quadruples in the box office what it costs. Yeah, it's all about the money.
And actually, DC just announced that all the movies that they're working on for streaming will now be theatrical releases.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I read that. Actually, read that.
Okay, so
the booby controversy, and there were teenage boobies. Now that is controversial. Wait, it wasn't. It was the 80s.
Wait. Wonder Girl was teenage. At what point do parents take responsibility for raising their kids to know the difference between storyline versus reality? I mean, well, sorry, you're wait, no. Sorry that you're Batman. You're afraid that a kid is gonna like go crazy or whatever, but just so you can get the depressive, Batman stories that you can get anytime. I mean, I don't get that. It's just like we're all coming to this fountain of wisdom and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's just this kind of, well, it doesn't have chocolate, it doesn't have the strawberry. This is here.
Oh, and to answer your question, always. I mean, me being not.
Oh yeah, well, geez. I mean, it takes a village to raise a kid. You know what I mean? And just because, it's this, maybe we should be teaching kids with our media too. I mean, it's not like, oh well, you should know better, dude. Look at this, whoa, you should know better. No, it's not about that. We all have responsibilities. We can't be acting crazy on the dang, like, well, I want to see Batman eating children and stuff, but they don't put that in the movie.
Well, and to your point, you're absolutely right. I've got a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old that I would like to share some of the stuff with, and it's like when we have time where like all of us get to sit down and watch something, and I am the one that gets to pick. I'm like, I don't know, I can't go there. I mean, I end up picking something like Super Friends, Batman.
That's what I'm thinking.
What do you think of the Batman Brave with the Bold cartoon? That was one of my favorite Batman cartoon series of all time, but nobody ever talks about it.
So that's the thing. That's another thing. Like they're thinking these parents aren't doing that. They're not being responsible. It's like, yeah, but you know how much more money you'd make. And in the long run, because sorry guys, these kids are gonna outlive you. Okay. So I know, I get it, Rob. I get it. Vic isn't. I'm not letting Vic do it today, so you can do it. They're gonna outlive you. So like we gotta be like, hey, here's some Batman, and then let them grow to enjoy Batman killing children on the street. Let them do that then. But right now we gotta show a Batman that's like, hey guys, eat your Wheaties.
Yeah, right now I'm in a spot where I've got to find the connective tissue between the superhero comics that I loved and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, because my kids have read every one of those, and Harper's even like, yeah, I like reading graphic novels now better than books. I'm like, well, I appreciate that, not quite healthy, but I get the appeal. So I got to find something to help find something that she would like that is like, hey, I love this. Maybe my kid's gonna like it too. We're not there yet.
I read Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. They're good.
What's that? They
Facetiousness.
oh
It's
facetiousness.
just, it's,
I thought it's calling me a
it's double
fashion.
spelling though.
Fashion. Sure. You don't get any of your comments. Now listen, I'm not saying you don't get the boobs still. Just go to your local. That would help the local
They're in
comic book shop.
they're in the appropriate place.
Yeah.
Where,
I mean, even I go to my local comic book shop and most of them are just boob covers, and I'm just like, this is what
let me ask,
kids in here all the time.
have you picked up the new World's Finest series yet? You probably haven't, but
Don't get me started on
you
that.
should. What?
World's Finest.
Oh, that's just because you didn't get the cover you wanted.
Listen, here's my rebuttal. Listen, Killing Joke was an exclusive thing. Watchmen was an exclusive thing. Dark Knight Returns was exclusive. It had nothing to do with the regular line. Okay,
Okay.
it didn't. It was a separate piece, and that is what I'm talking about. We can have our cake and eat it too. Okay, you can have that. Okay, and then you can go have the nice fancy car. You have your jalopy, and then you go and it's like, well, then check out my hot rod. You know, you go to the comic book shop for the hot rods.
Well, what I was going to ask is, are you going to have the same story at the grocery store and the comic book? There's different versions?
Yes, the comic book shop. Listen, this is what it is that you put out a main comic that both the comic book shop and the Walmart can sell, right? But then the comic book shop has like, because you don't want to sell Booster Gold at Walmart, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have extra stuff at the comic book shop.
Well, I think that's one of the things in my 100-page giant. You buy the Batman 100-page giant, and
Well, yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
stories in it is Batman and Booster Gold. So
that's what, like, if you do a Detective Comics as a magazine, and then you have the main story is Batman, and then the follow ups are like all his buddies, but I don't see their separate issues. Local comic book shop. That's where that is. Superman has the more action guys. Adventure, you get with the Legion, you know. Wonder Woman maybe would probably take over Adventure because like Sensational Comics is never really that big of a thing. So she'd probably Aquaman was an Adventure. Legion of Super Plastic Man, stuff like that. That's what I'd be doing. But I'd also have the Superman book and the Wonder Woman and the thing. And as for Gore was talking about how his nephews or whatever kids in the comic shop are like Thanos and Venom, but they don't read comic books. That's because they probably could be. They don't have the money. Most kids are like, "Hey, buy me." I don't want that. But
I mean,
you still got that. It has to be a parent buying them that. When I was a kid, I would go down to the local drugstore and I would have 60 or 75 cents, and I would buy that stuff. So
yeah. I mean, so that's one of the big knocks against comics these days is the cost, because we're at $5 and $6 now. That you buy 2 comic books for the same price, you get a movie ticket.
That's gonna be that way, man. That's
a streaming platform.
Yeah. Well, see, another thing I'd be doing in my movies, I would be putting people buying comic books, showing people you can buy comic books in the movie. Like I would pay. This is what I would do. I would pay you know how they like Dunkin' Donuts will advertise in movies and pay that. I would do that with DC. I would do that with my DC stuff. I'd be like, hey, I'll pay you to put in some kid buying buying a gallon of gas, buying everything. That's what I'm saying. So if it's subliminal messaging, okay? They do it today. Like, hey, I see that kid buying a comic book at the time. You don't see that in movies anymore unless it's an old school movie. All right. Mm-hmm. So let's kids get it. And I think the manga stuff would really help, put out. Don't get me started on animation. That's all fits with the movies. I think the movies and TV shows need to come together. Like sorry, Vic, your TV shows, your sloppy A TV shows will not be getting made under the Al Shell administration.
But
Okay.
here's the thing: more people watch those than read the books.
Well, I get that, but you don't get me. What you need to get is that those books, they would be representing the books. Okay, those
Okay, well,
shows
that's
would
all I'm
not.
saying is all
Those
you're talking about is just take the Better
shows
Quality
would
show,
not
right?
be so over here. They would be like, this is the comic, and this is the best story that we got. The purest form is what the TV show should be. Okay. I wouldn't be doing Legends of Tomorrow. I wouldn't be doing. I'd be like, listen, this guy is this is you're gonna get some fun stuff, but I wouldn't bastardize a brand just so I could get it on TV, like they've done since the beginning, and just like, well, this is a big producer guy. Well, we want to put a superhero in there. Could you make him more like this, or you could do this more like this? And then to get him in there, they totally like, well, I know he had this, but we can get rid of it. Nah, no, that's fine. We'll just make him this little stripped down nugget of, So then he just doesn't resemble what he was. The character doesn't resemble himself anymore. And then sometimes you got to reinvigorate characters. And then by doing that is being like, taking all that muck off of it, like what they've done. They do it with Superman all the time. Okay, so unfortunately many of the kids I know don't like to read. They see it as an extension of schoolwork. Most of their minds are shaped by the visual mediums. Manga is easier to read because they like reading backwards. But this is what I'm saying. I would put out manga books. I ain't gonna
lie. First time I got my Haikyuu #1, I was mad. I'm like, this book is backwards and it's small. What's up with this?
I'd put out, you got your 100-page giants. I would put out the digest. Remember the digest that you could get? Archie. So I just bought an Archie digest because I was like, holy crap.
You get those all the time.
I think
that's what I'm saying. I'd put out phone book style paper, that's garbage paper, make it cheap on the rack, and then people can buy it and fondle it and destroy it all.
The surprising thing about the 100-page giants that they did put out is that they weren't on crappy newsprint. They were on pretty decent paper.
Yeah,
it was overall a nice package. And the reason I keep talking about it is my daughters have a couple of them for like DC superhero girls.
Yeah,
but
well,
that's what do you think about what they did
I'm sure I forgot most of it.
What do you think about like putting the QR codes for free digital books throughout the shows and stuff?
I think that's a gimmick.
This is a gimmick. That's not. See, what I'm thinking about is stuff that's gonna last past what they're doing now. The QR codes aren't gonna be around forever. That's like having a land phone in a show. We don't have like land phones anymore. You gotta focus. All I'm saying is just focus on these characters that have already been around for so long, and they're just landed. That's what Marvel does. Marvel focuses on, like, they'll bring in a character like, I mean, even Moon Knight's bad guy, like, it wasn't anything like that. And who cares?
Don't get me started on Moon Knight.
I won't. Well, I'll get you started on the next thing since we're segueing into why does Jamie hate Marvel TV?
There isn't any.
I know why I hate DC TV. Why do you hate Marvel TV?
Wait a second. I love Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, my goodness.
See, this is what it is.
You probably like the humans too.
Spoiler alert, listen. For anybody that hasn't seen Doctor Strange yet.
Wait, have you seen Doctor Strange yet?
Go for it.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, Doctor Strange, in the scene when they bring in, spoiler, they bring in Black Bolt from the Inhumans, and they have him get wiped out. That's basically Feige going, yep, that shit sucks. And that is your TV. That's what I'm saying, man. I would be doing that. I wouldn't even give it attention, though. I would just bring in new stuff. Anyways, DC would be awesome if I ran it, and you know it.
But can I tell
you guys got any questions? Go ahead.
It would be so much better if you ran it.
But can I tell you about a 21st century problem that you haven't addressed?
Sure.
So you talk about DC, you talk about Flash, Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. What else am I missing here?
You're talking about all the white characters?
All of them are white. All of them are white.
That's such. That's. I knew you'd bring that up. I don't see it
Of
like
course, you
that.
bring it up.
I don't. I know you're gonna bring it up. You brought it up in your pitch, Miles. Come on.
Huh?
I create new characters. I wasn't saying I'm not going to create new characters. I create new characters, and I would
But here's
showcase
the
a lot
thing:
of.
people don't
Uh,
seem
uh,
to have patience for new characters.
huh?
People don't seem to have patience for new characters.
They do.
Green
They
Lantern.
do. This is your problem, Vic. Is that you don't.
I watched the
They
Green
have
Lantern
that.
cartoons and movie. I ain't seen a black one yet.
Have you ever watched the Justice League cartoon?
Some people think of John Stewart before they think of Hal Jordan. A lot of people were saying, "How come Green Lantern's not black in the movie?" I had a lot of people at conventions doing that, and a lot of white people saying that. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Because they grew up on the Justice League cartoon that had John Stewart as the Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan.
Okay.
See,
Is that why they're
this
talking
is
about
what's
this?
gonna happen. It's like skateboarding. It's like everything. It's like the white people. White people are like, "Hey, look at this," and then finally, people of color come in, and then it'll balance out. It'll get balanced out. It just takes hundreds of years for people to actually go, "Oh, wait a minute, this is kind of cool." We got so much other stuff to worry about. Listen, create a new character is easy. You just put them. It's a time. Okay, creating characters is a time bomb. All right. You put in a new character in the back of something else, or in a famous character stuff, and then it grows, and then go beep, and then it blows up. You gotta be patient. You even said it earlier, did you not? To use your own rhetoric.
Yes.
You gotta take your time with it. I can't just come out and go Black Superman. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, when you create a character of color, it has to be cool. It can't be like, oh, I took the African flag and I wrapped him in this and because that's some tacky colors, green and red together.
You can't talk bad about the black, green, and gold.
Dude, is a suit. It doesn't work. Okay,
No.
it does not work. Okay,
He can be
I
American.
count cool, but he did the huh?
He can be American. He ain't got to be African. He ain't got to be not the Nation of Islam. He ain't got to be Muslim. Just make
Listen, I'm talking about their mindset. I'm not talking about my mindset. I'm talking about the producers of this that go, we have to, this is how we represent. This is what you want. This is what you want.
Yeah, I'm making Malcolm X.
If we just get a natural balance, man, and that means, listen, I don't have problems with a lot of characters having their sexual orientation what it is. Okay, I don't care if you like to kiss boys or like to kiss cats or whatever. I don't care, but I don't feel that like a mainstream comic book is a place to just flaunt everything. Right. And I don't dig that. I think every character, if the story's right, then it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? Then people will accept it. You got to do a good, like Vic said, if you smooth it in, it'll be more digestible. I don't want to be drinking medicine. Right. Okay, this is the problem. There's medicine, and then there's mixed stuff that you can be like, he doesn't know the medicine's in here, but he'll drink it, and it'll eventually. It's like a Star Trek.
It's between a sprinkler and a fire hose.
Right. It's a Star Trek episode. You didn't know that you were getting race relations in Star Trek, but you were. You were getting like, hey, he ain't so different than you. That's what all good sci-fi does. It doesn't go like, eat this right here. You bite this and you will be this. We got to evolve. We can't just be like, all right, I'm perfect.
Well, it's all like the last season of Titans. They introduced Tim Drake. Tim Drake was throughout the whole season. Not once did we see him become Robin. I mean, I guarantee you the next season he's going to be Robin. but it was a slow burn.
Bigger things. Anyways, is this the Allen Show now? Sorry. Let's talk about Jamie's hate for She-Hulk.
Oh,
jeez.
It's too late in the show to get into that.
No, we're doing it now. This is our send-off. We're closing with this.
Okay. Before we get into this, I want to thank everybody for coming and participating in the live chat. Rob Boswell, Tony.
He knows they're leaving.
2nd Street Marvel, Gore Vidal, I just want to thank you guys for being here this morning. I want to thank everyone that tunes in regularly for this show. This is probably going to be the last regularly scheduled Saturday morning show, at least for a while. And it's mainly because life happens and I got other things I got to do on Saturday mornings, and this is kind of how it's worked out. So we'll try
We
and
wanted this forever.
we'll try and get some primetime content in. I've got an idea that I think would be cool to have a lot of community members involved in, to do a watch party of a certain movie that I hate, that I think we'd all get a kick out of. But speaking of hate, She-Hulk CG, man. Okay, so just like Moon Knight, I am not like the biggest She-Hulk fan, but I have an appreciation of the character. I have She-Hulk comics. I want to like this show, and the CG that they presented in that preview. Okay, so I mentioned I've got daughters. My daughters have watched like the CG Barbie cartoons, and what I saw in that She-Hulk preview reminded me so much of what I saw in Barbie cartoons. It's
so bad.
It is that bad.
I'm just telling you. Teach the girl how to put on a lace front. That wig could be so much better.
Is it a wig? It's a CGI.
I'm assuming that she's wearing a real
CGI,
wig.
man. Listen. You guys are going off of a commercial from a convention they had that they had to show what was happening. They're gonna smooth it out. They're gonna smooth it out. Anyways, yeah, Second Street Marvel. You can't end the story on Saturday morning. Listen, I am planning on taking up some slack. I'm thinking about bringing back Saturday morning cartooning on my. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but you got on Instagram. You gotta follow me on Instagram or something, and then I'll probably start doing Saturday morning cartooning there. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on YouTube because they like to. If I put up a Blue Falcon, they'll
ding you
hook
for
me
it?
on there.
Really?
Yeah, they grab me for. I mean, I was using the music.
I hope the CG will be polished, but I don't think it will. I don't think Marvel's going to do a thing like they did with the Sonic cartoon, where they got so much backlash on that they redid that whole character design.
Yeah. Tongue and a ding-a-ling. What? Where you putting that ding-a-ling?
That toy I got when I was a little bitty boy? Silver bells tied on a string.
Chuck Berry is my ding-a-ling. Want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Anyways.
So
I'll just say, yeah, so the She-Hulk thing will be smoothed out. And as what I've seen, I don't really mind it. I think it looks fine. To me, it just looks like the TV version of the Hulk stuff, but not the old TV show. And let me I want to throw a shout out to Bill Bixby, man. I was thinking about that dude the other day. Bill Bixby was the man. I wish he would have still been able to do Multiverse of Madness stuff and just bring out Bill Bixby as old Bruce Banner doing. Oh, that would have been beautiful. I hope they can get the rights to Bill Bixby and put him in the background somewhere. I would love that. That guy is my guy, man. He has so much pathos, man. He was just like, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. That dude, that was when Bruce Banner and the Hulk was serious, man. Now they're just like, hey, no, look at me. I'm Drew. I'm happy. I want that Hulk. You can't. It's like Batman. You can't have a middle ground. I guess you gotta have. Actually, the Bruce Banner, the Bill Bixby version was the middle ground. That was the perfect. Just like Christopher Reeve was the perfect Superman, Bill Bixby was the perfect Bruce Banner. He was perfect. Anyway, but yeah, I want to thank. Do you guys think I should do a Saturday morning cartooning thing where I wake up and draw?
Where there's a gap, somebody needs to step in and fill it for the good people.
Yeah, in a gap. But I got to have everybody come watch me. I don't know how they're going to figure it out. I don't know if I'm going to do it on Facebook Facebook Live it. But any of you guys, yeah, we should have got. They should have got Jade Cargill. That's what they should have got, baby. You guys know who Jade Cargill is?
Mm.
She's a wrestler. She's a pro wrestler right now. Oh my gosh, she's fine. She is fine. She could be a good Storm too. But
What
man,
about that one chick that goes by Mister or whatever it is? The man.
Jade, look up Jade Cargill, and you won't stop. Jade Cargill, bad man. She's like, ooh, 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 ooh. Anyway,
I still plan on watching it. I'll try and grit my teeth as I see the bad CG. But
he's just a grumpy dude now, man.
I'm
He's
a fan of the
grumpy.
character. I'm a fan of Tatiana Maslany. She was great in Orphan Black.
She was amazing in Orphan Black.
Well, maybe she'll be the Bill Bixby for you. She'll be like, okay, I don't like Lou Ferrigno, but Bill Bixby's good. But yeah, do you guys, anybody in the chat anymore want to see me do Saturday morning cartooning, where I draw something from? I might have to start drawing comic book characters. I do little like postcard size pictures. I might even send them out to people that want them.
There you go. So,
Sweet.
Thundar, Ookla the Mook on a Han Solo Chewbacca. Oh, so well, it'd just be headshots of them. That's not, I can see that. That's a good. I like that. I like that. I was gonna. Yeah, I like that. But
Al's all about the mashups. So.
I am all about the man. What's the recent mashup I did? I did the Pink Panther with the Black Panther. I made them I did that. I'll watch you flap your gums, Alan, but don't get on MBL and really check IG. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can watch the after show on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
All right. Well,
me and Vic, I think Vic will join me. I should get Vic to join me on Saturday morning cartooning.
You do your play-by-play.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he can be like, "Who is this character?" That'd be good. Vic will ask who these characters are, and I'll be like, "This is."
Like, are you sure Black Panther's outfit is black?
We were just getting ready to get started for you, Bob.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, so my thing is the Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming out.
What about it?
Oh no, that's that. That's all I had. Hey, so who's DC take world domination? DC world domination plan did you like the most?
Yours.
Mine?
You'd obviously put the most thought into it.
And I barely did. I thought of it last night. I do have the high ground. No, he has the high ground.
He set the parameters, didn't tell us until we got here.
Yeah. What? What do you think it was gonna be? What do you think? Like saving DC was gonna be? See, I'm not the one that started this. I was like, we should do this, and then Jamie was like, oh, yeah, we'll do this, and then I don't know. Maybe he just thought I want to make Batman a 12-foot guy that shoots webs out of his ears. I don't know. I was thinking of the bigger picture, and then the in between. Like most of the stories that are coming out would probably be more digestible if more people seen them. Right. I think that's the problem. They're not getting to enough people. I mean, as much as I hate, I mean, I go to the comic book shop and just glance at cover. I'm just like, I don't care.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the idea that's been floated out there of giving creative teams a 1-year contract on a given title, so there's consistency in a 1-volume storyline they can do each year.
Yeah, I had that. A while back I told you that I wanted to do seasons.
Yep.
And
He
did. Miles, I would do that. Listen, his idea about taking a milestone and like shopping it out somewhere. That's basically what they did with Spider-Man, though. Like, but the problem is when that stuff gets hot, then you can't take it back all of a sudden. So
no. I said we're producing in-house. We just sell them the rights to whatever it is that we produced.
Oh, okay. So you have. So it's like Friday the 13th, all right? The way it used to be. Like it's like almost doing an independent movie and going, you're looking for a distributor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
how
it
you
is.
see an ABC produced TV show on CBS.
I don't know about that,
Sometimes.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. I would. I don't know. I would have Superman murder all the milestone characters.
Worlds collide.
I'm joking.
Worlds collide. I mean,
Yeah.
Icon took out Superman, but
I would actually. Oh, you know, I learned an idea. I thought, just for comic books. I know we're. I want to do DC fanfic, where it's kind of almost like what they used to do with Heroes for Hire, where you send in your character. So I would start a comic book, or maybe make it an online thing where it's like DC fans can send in their stories. That you can't. It has to involve DC characters only. Can't be original guys. Can't be Marvel guy. Can't be in. Can't be Mickey Mouse or something.
Mhm.
And I would
they've done
let
it the last
them.
couple of years.
What?
I think they've done it the last couple of years.
No, those are proposals by professionals. The ones that
Oh,
have been
those are
voted
about
on.
professionals.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking indie dudes. I'm talking
Okay.
fanfic. I'm talking, and I let them send that in, and then I would either show it or put out a book with it in there, and then people, if they like it, they can vote on it or whatever, and you could maybe, or if it's good, you know what I'm saying? I think
Mhm.
that
Like
would be
that.
fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to get people involved. So you might even have. I mean, think about that. They used to have the 24-hour comic. They used to do that. Do that. Do a DC 24-hour comic. Brand your own thing, and then like, hey, use our characters for this 24-hour comic. Blah blah blah. Anyway, sorry.
Rob's always in the right place at the right time. All right, so we will wrap this show up. I want to thank, like I said, everybody for watching our regular. I'd like to thank our regular audience that tunes in
We'll
every
never be
week.
back.
I want to thank these two guys, Coach Vic and Al, for
That guy right there. You're the man. You guys are the mans. Thank you. No, you do.
for making this show much more flavorful than it would have been if I was just sitting here staring at a camera, which you'll probably get some of at some point again eventually. But we're going to wrap this up. A reminder, I'll be at Wonderfest in 2 weeks. It won't be a pop culture clobbering time like Rob said, but I might simulcast this on my channel as well as the Round 2 channel. Uh, just a show recap. I've got a panel scheduled on Sunday where I get to stand up in front of people and take questions.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh, I have to stream that. Do they take questions from the streaming audience?
I don't know. I doubt it. It's whatever I want it to be.
Where is the Orville?
It's coming out. You didn't see the trailer?
I haven't watched that trailer.
Oh,
I need to.
okay. Hey, so yeah, look, I'm sure Jamie will hook me up. If I'm gonna do a Saturday morning thing, I'll let Jamie know, and then he can post about it. So then all you guys can find out, know where to find me.
Cool.
All right.
And maybe Coach Vic will join me and be like, "Hey, why are you drawing all white people?" That's Papa Smurf. He ain't white.
Mars County
Underneath that blue
joining
makeup.
at the tail end of the show. Please watch the rewind. Thanks, Bubs. So that'll be it. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
I'll never do this again.
We will see you soon out on the interwebs. Remember, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for? It's the bad